Pepper says, are you ready to declutter another section of this hoarded basement? I know I am. It is that time of the week again. It is time to declutter another section in this hoarded basement. And since our 2023 goals are to completely have this basement decluttered, well, we're diving right in this section over here. Now, when I get started, to avoid being extremely overwhelmed because of the amount of stuff there is, I will scan the area and declutter the easiest thing I can let go of, which in this case, it's going to be this, the plastic bag. I can very easily let this go with any type of emotion. And what that does is it starts my decluttering momentum in a positive way. Just like these face shields, this was probably bought back in 2020, but now we don't have a need for them anymore, so we can give them away. This right here is a kitchen trash bag, and honestly, we can use it right now when we put all our tossies into them. This right here is a brand new pack of Pokemon cards, so I will put that in our regifting bin that we have in the basement. And this right here is a very easy tossy. We can get rid of that. And this kid's buffalo check shirt, we can let this go because it doesn't fit my boys anymore. Okay, so this shirt right here is not mine, it's hubby's. And I am not going to make the decision whether to let this go or not because it's not mine. Even though I know that he hasn't worn it in 10 years probably, I'm not going to make that decision because me, as someone who's recovering in hoarding disorder, that is probably one of the worst things you can do is get rid of a bunch of stuff that I'm not aware of because that's going to throw me into a panic attack because I did not process those emotions. Now, I want to share this because if you're trying to help someone with hoarding disorder, the worst thing you can do is take a bunch of stuff and get rid of it without their knowing. I know your intention might be to help them, right? Because you register decluttering and empty spaces as a positive thing, a relief, a peace, tranquility within your soul and mind, basically. But for the hoarder, we're on the opposite end of that pendulum, right? This stuff is what is giving us that security, and we've attached some type of emotion or a story to it, and that's why we struggle letting it go. Just like these next bins right here. These two bins are from my wedding and bridal shower when me and hubby were very young and got married back in 2007. Okay, so clearly this bin and the bin underneath of it is wedding stuff, and that's going to be very sentimental. And this is where I do emotional decluttering because my hoarding is stemmed from my emotions. So when I see something like this, my bachelorette crown, this is going to register pretty high on my emotional scale. Let's say 1 being not attached, 10 being extremely attached. This is going to register up there as a 9 because it reminds me of when all my girlfriends came together and we had so much fun at the spa and hanging out and dinner and dancing. So there's a big, deep attachment to the crown because it reminds me of when my girlfriends loved me and wanted to celebrate me. So in times when I feel stressed or alone or whatever I'm going through, something like this is going to cope those emotions. I'm going to feel better because it's like, no, that's right, I'm loved. I don't have to worry. Moving on to this that was in here. This is like, I don't know what I really used it for. Probably some kind of like basket or something. I don't know. But I used it during the wedding. But emotionally, it's registering as a 1, right? There's no story attached to this. I don't need to feel safe with this in my hands. So I can make a very easy decision to let this go with no remorse. I can actually look at it logically and make that decision to let it go. That is a very key reason why I've been so successful in continuing taking baby steps forward into decluttering. And I haven't regressed that much. I have never backslid to the point of full-on hoarding again while I've been in my hoarding recovery. And because I honored my emotions without guilt, knowing that it was just emotions I still had to process, every time I decluttered, I was reprogramming my nervous system that I am still safe if I declutter. Now, this drawer organizer right here is empty, but I feel like it's perfect for when we start organizing the crafts. And I just want to take this moment to say thank you, everyone. I started reading through the comments and you guys are giving amazing advice on how to organize the crafts. And I'm just truly grateful for that. And behind that is an old mailer that we can toss out and I guess a piece of Post-it. I don't know. We can toss this out too. Now on the side here are some lids that I was looking for. Like this purple one goes to that kitchen tub that I had last week. So this is perfect. But if I look underneath of this desk, it is, surprise, surprise, bags of paper. And as I look through this paper, I can tell that this is from like 2013, 2014. So everything that's in this bag is a tossy-tossy. And underneath the bag is this box, and it is a box of, paper. Some of that paper doesn't look so good though. You guys are probably wondering, why does somebody just have a box of paper and what I know now as trash and shove it in a box and put it back here? Why would somebody have that train of thought? This is where I can see where the hoarding and the ADHD very much overlap. The hoarding is that most likely what happened is upstairs in the living room or the kitchen, this was just laying all over the place, right? It was just laying in piles. And somebody probably called and said, hey, I'm going to stop over later in the day. Will you be home? And I'm too embarrassed to say, don't come over. I have hoarding disorder and I'm hiding all of this crap from the world because society puts such a harsh judgment on us that's not true. So what I say is, yeah, I'll be here, sure, stop over. And now I'm in a frantic because I'm taking all the piles of stuff on the floor, throwing it in a box, and then shoving it in the depths of the basement somewhere because I wasn't strong enough to let things go because I saw the value in everything. And my ADHD did not take the item, put it away when I was done with it because, I don't know, when you have ADHD, you're not thinking about that. What you're actually thinking about is when you're done something, it gets dropped because you're already 5-10 thoughts ahead of what you're supposed to do. That mind is constantly spinning. So you kind of drop and go, don't put it away. I left it here. Now it's piling. And because I have hoarding, I don't want to make the decisions to let it go because it's triggering too many emotions that I haven't worked through yet. So I'm going to avoid it completely, shove it in a box and shove it away for another day. And luckily for all of us, that another day is today because we handled it. And we're going to handle some more because I can see some little kid stuff here. And honestly, everything in this green bin, I don't feel an attachment to. I don't even know what this goes to. So we're going to let that go. Now, a lot of this stuff in this bin are my boys' items, so I want them to make the decision. But the hangers, we can let them go. I know that they do not want to hold on to that. Now, I saw this Brandon bag and I pulled it up and I realized that this is Valentine stuff from elementary school and the candy in there, I don't know, I guess because of the moisture just kind of started corroding. And when I checked the card and everything, I can tell that it was from his 5th grade. He's in 9th grade. And everything in this bag is pretty much considered biohazard and we got to get rid of this. And as we continue digging to see if there's anything else biohazard in there, I saw a lot of these Pokemon empty wrappers. And I know in the past my boys have said to toss that out. They did not want that. So we can let all of that go. But at the bottom of the bin, I saw some more biohazard. And if you are squirmish, I would turn away. This Minion that was Tyler's, I don't know what happened to it, but it's covered in mold and I'm very heartbroken because he used to love this. Obviously, we can't keep this. We have to get rid of this right away. Anything with that kind of mold, I'm going to be putting into the Ziploc bag because I probably should not be touching this with bare hands or without a mask on. Now, I did want to keep the bin and there were some toys that were fine as well that I want the boys to decide, but I disinfected everything inside of here. Now, I wanted to show you this because there is a fireplace in the basement. This is actually connected to the upstairs one in the living room. And it would be kind of cool to have this decorated all pretty in the future once we have this all done. And now me and Miss Pepper are so incredibly proud to show you this tossy pile because she's big. She takes up the whole back area of the basement. A lot of this was really easy decisions to make, and I'm going to recycle everything as best as I can. But there was one point in my life where I couldn't let any of this go. I saw the value in it and I felt anxious if I thought of letting any of it go. And I can easily throw it in the recyclables and the trash now. And of course, with my ADHD, we're making sure as part of the video, we're tossing it out right away. We're also gonna sweep up the area, again, being accountable for that ADHD and completing the task so that we can show you the newly opened up space for this video. And this is what's worked for me in recovering in my hoarding disorder is baby step decluttering. And that old saying of slow and steady wins the race holds true because I'm able to keep these spaces open for a longer amount of time without regressing backwards. And my hope and my prayer is this video motivated and encouraged you to declutter something in your home today too.